doors looked 100 years old, but they were still very sturdy. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles. It read, Pont de Nord, Fine Wine Producers. I didn't recognize the label. The sign looked as if it was firmly attached to the wall. Anyway, I didn't really want it as a souvenir. It was a beautiful piece of 19th century engineering, but not a lot of use to me. The doors looked 100 years old, but they were still very sturdy. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles. It read, Kondor Transglobal. I'd come to the right place. Now all I had to do was get inside. This sign also looked firmly attached to the wall. That door seemed to be the only way into the warehouse. There was a little grill set into the door. It was a duct from a ventilation fan. The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan. The window wasn't fully shut. The clamp consisted of two metal jaws which would close when weight was applied to them. The din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking. The grill opened from the inside. The din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking. It was a powerful fan. I couldn't reach the blades of the fan, which was just as well. If I'd stuck my fingers in there, I'd never be able to play guitar again. It was the creep who'd kidnapped Nico, and I had a score to settle. The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates. The room was filled with transglobal crates. I wouldn't have been hurt over the din of the fan. I wouldn't have been hurt over the din of the fan. That wouldn't work. That did the trick. The fan clunked and shorted out as its blades were mashed by the boat hook.
Hey, you make any more noise, I break your arms.
That bully needed to be taught a lesson.
Garzak's already mad because we didn't get the stone. You give me any trouble, I'll tell him it was all your fault.
Karzak? That must be his boss. The fan was a real mess. A splintered boat hook, dented blades, and a shorted motor. The boat hook was jammed in the dented fan blades. I decided there was a better way to attract their attention.
Who is it?
Is this Kondor Transglobal?
Nobody here. Go away.
I'll give you 5 seconds to let me in or I'll bust down the door.
Okay. I'm coming.
He didn't sound too happy. It was an old, creaky, heavy, splintery wooden door. I wasn't going back out there. Oh no. There was a small drawer in the desk. Knowing my luck, it was bound to be locked. The only interesting thing I found was a small brass key. It was a small brass key. It was my lucky piece of coal. It was the box of biscuits I'd taken from the watchman's hut. This product has not been tested on animals. There was a notice board beside the desk with an assortment of paperwork on it. Among the paperwork which adorned the notice board was something which caught my eye. It was a delivery note from Kondor Transglobal, and the address was Coromante City. It was locked. I'd need a crowbar or a stick of dynamite to open that cabinet, but I wasn't here to check out the filing system. The room was filled with transglobal crates. All the crates were firmly sealed. Whoa! Don't shoot! The little guy had a blowpipe. That confirmed my suspicions about what had happened to Nico. I waited for him to shoot me, but it didn't happen. Instead, he seemed to want to tell me something. What? What do you want? He seemed excited, almost desperate. What did he want so bad? Hi, I'm not going to hurt you.
Guaramonte.
Is that where you're from? Coramonte City?
Quaramonte!
Okay. What have you done with my girlfriend?
Huh?
I am not leaving without her. Where is she? He didn't appear to understand me. This was the dart you used to knock out my girlfriend. If she's come to any harm, I will count you personally responsible.
Lotse kapaitu fnor!
Tell me what you've done with Nico, and I'll share these biscuits with you. I knew it sounded lame, trying to bargain with a box of doggy snacks. Besides, how was he to know how yummy they tasted? Do you know what this is?
Peitu! Lotse kapaitu! Inyakot lagoino mutu!
What does this key unlock?
Huh?
Hey, you're manacled. Who did this? That big thug? I'm gonna set you free, okay? Hey, come back here! The little guy had gone to ground amongst the stack of crates. The room was filled with transglobal crates. It was an elevator to the upper floor. I couldn't pry the doors apart with my bare hands. There was usually an easier way to do it. Just in time. Interrupting the beam of light kept the doors from closing and stopped anyone from using the elevator. But what now? It was a device to prevent the elevator doors closing when they were obstructed. The crate bore the familiar logo of Kondor Transglobal, but no clues to its contents. There. That would keep the doors from closing. It was the elevator call button. It was the elevator call button. An unmarked switch. Tempting. The crate was labeled, "Danger. Live contents. Do not drop." There were small holes in the top and sides and scratchy noises coming from inside. But decided not to risk dropping it and meeting the live contents. It was a hydraulic hand cart. There wasn't enough room to move the handle. It was a large crate with no label. No chance. Whatever those crates contained, they were heavy. The statue looked as if it was Central or South American in origin. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. It was a pulley attached to a long rail which ran the length of the building. It wasn't much use though. No rope. The window was not designed to open. There was no way to open that window. A sturdy beam was jammed across the doors. These doors were not going to open. I noticed a faint mark on the wooden floor. There was an arc-shaped scratch on the floor, as if a door had been opened in the nearby wall. There didn't appear to be any difference in the paneling of this part of the wall. My fingers traced the outline of a secret door in the wall. Then I found a small round stud, which was set flush to the surrounding wooden paneling. Just as I'd hoped, a secret room. Nico! Nico was trussed up like a chicken, but she didn't appear to be harmed. It was a grotesque little statue of a figure carrying a shield and a spear. Hold still. This might hurt a little.
Ow!
Think yourself lucky you don't have a mustache.
Thank God it's you, Georges. How did you find me?
I'll explain later. We have to get out of here.
Where's Pablo, the big guy?
Out cold. Too much wine doesn't agree with him. Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. Untie me this instant.
It was a short length of rope tied tightly around Nico's slim wrists. There. How are you feeling?
Oh, thanks, Georges. How on earth did you find me?
I knew Oubier had been in Marseille. But never mind about me. How about you tell me exactly what's going on, starting with that Mayan stone?
I picked it up from one of Karzak's men in Paris. I was expecting a consignment of narcotics.
Drugs?
Yes. The proof I needed to expose Karzak's smuggling operation. I'd set it up to act as his courier, and once I had the proof, I planned to go straight to Inspector Mou. But instead of the dope I'd expected, they sent me that stone instead. And to find out more, I called Professor Oubier, who invited me to his mansion. At least, I thought it was Oubier.
I don't get it. If Karzak's business is drugs, why is he so desperate to get his hands on that stone?
Maybe it has some significance to the local people in Central America. It could be Karzak's means of getting them to work for him. Anyway, we've got to get out of here.
Nico, wait! We can't use the elevator. If that thug Pablo's recovered, he'll be waiting for us.
We've got to do something. Where does that door lead to?
I'm not sure.